Hello students, now we are going to discuss about the limit test of sulfate, right? So there are so many impurities as we have discussed in the previous classes also, which might be there into your pharmaceutical products that we need to test it, whether it is within the limit or it is the outside of the limit, or it is passing the limit test or it is failing the limit test, right? So today we are going to discuss about the limit test of sulfate, right? Sulfate SO4, right? So this what is the principle, what kind of reaction it is going to have, what procedure we are supposed to follow, and what observation it is indicating, what is the limit of the sulfate ion into your product or into your sample, right? So let's start. Principle, when we talk about it, is based on the interaction between barium chloride and soluble sulfates, right? So ultimately barium chloride and soluble sulfates in the presence of acetic acid. Okay, so let's see into the reaction what is happening here. The potassium sulfate, it is reacting with the barium chloride in the presence of acetic acid, because acetic acid is providing the acidic environment for the reaction, and barium sulfate it is forming, right? So this Ba and SO4, barium sulfate, and potassium ion, potassium chloride ion, it is releasing, right? Then coming to this one again in the sulfate ion, because we have see here we have written in the principle like soluble sulfate, right? So whatever the sulfate ion, if it is there in your sample, if it will react with the barium chloride in the presence of acetic acid, right? So again barium sulfate it is forming, and the chloride ion it is releasing, right? Chloride ion it is releasing. Here two things we need to remember: we are adding alcohol also and barium sulfate also as a reagent, right? Alcohol and the barium sulfate we are adding. Okay, so why we are adding barium sulfate? It is providing the sufficient number of sulfate ion to react with the particular sulfate for the barium with the barium chloride, so that barium sulfate may form, and we can get the at least readable opalescence which we are expecting from that. And alcohol or any ethanol if we are adding, this is providing the supersaturation, it is providing, right? Supersaturation, whatever it is happening, that is it is controlling. So that's what these two things we have to add along with the acetic acid also, right? So how the test procedure it is going to have in the limit test of sulfate? Here again we are going to have the two nasal cylinder, how we have done in the case of chloride limit test in the same way, right? In one will be for the test and another will be for the standard. So what we do in the test sample, we are going to take whatever sample we want to check for the sulfate ion, and the water we have to dissolve that one, and here we are going to add 0.15 ml or 0.15 ml 0.5 molar acetic acid. That's what I have written here also, right? Acetic acid we are adding, and after that 2.5 ml barium sulfate reagent I told that is required, right? Even right, barium sulfate reagent, so that it will get sufficient sulfate ion to react with, and 50 ml of water we are make upping up to this cylinder, whatever the portion it will be remains, that we will make up and we will add up to 50 ml and we will fill it up, right? Then it will we will allow it for stand for 5 minutes. Same thing we do in this side also, but here the thing is, instead of sample we are allowing the 15 ml, we are adding the 15 ml of standard sulfate, right? That's what, and 15 ml of water, right? That's what standard sulfate we have to allow here. Then 0.15 ml same from here onwards, you can see here 0.15 ml 5.0 molar acetic acid, 0.15 ml 5.0 molar acetic acid, then 2.5 ml barium sulfate reagent, 2.5 ml barium sulfate reagent, 50 ml of water makeup, 50 ml of water makeup, right? Stand it for, allow it to stand for 5 minutes. Okay, both the test and standard. Then what we are going to observe here in observation, opalescence. That's what I told in chloride case also, opalescence. But what if you add milk into the some water, and whatever the kind of turbidity we are going to get, that is called opalescence. So how you are going to observe here? If it is less than, for example, this is the test, this is the standard. Okay, if it is less than the standard, this one is standard, if it is less than opalescence or the turbidity is less than, it is passing the limit test, or if it is more than the standard, the test one, if it is more than the standard, it is failing the limit test, right? So this is the thing. So you need to take care about the reaction, how it is happening, like potassium sulfate, barium chloride, barium sulfate, potassium chloride, sulfate ion reacting with barium chloride. In the presence of acetic acid, we are adding alcohol and barium sulfate also, then barium sulfate is forming and the chloride ion it is releasing. So with this reaction, the opalescence we are going to get, and what is the quantity, how it is more or less than the standard, it will indicating whether your test it is, whether your sample it is passing the limit test for sulfate or failing the limit test for sulfate. Thank you.